Hello everybody, I am Fuzzyface. Welcome back today to round 14, which is the American Grand Prix in Phoenix. It should be a pretty decent track for us. As you can see, the engine is crucial, the front wing is crucial, the rear wing is crucial. We'll go over that in a second. We'll just go over the driver's standings at the moment because Esteban Ocon has got a massively impressive 138 point haul here. He's currently third in the driver's standing, only behind Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel, although a long way behind those two drivers. Vettel has been closing this gap to Hamilton. It's going to be interesting to see whether he can do that. He's got Brazil, Dubai, and then the last race at oval track at Phoenix. So the title decider could come down to the last race here. Sergei Sorokin himself has been doing pretty well this season as well. He's got 48 points, currently in 9th place. We're currently in 4th place. Doesn't look like we're going to catch Red Bull unless they have a massive downturn in performance. They did have both cars crash out recently, which allowed us to close the gap up a little bit more, but we've got a massive gap over the McLaren team. So 4th is ours, so we should be getting a nice decent payment. We've currently got an epic brake spill going on. Hopefully that is going to help us improve here. We will need to work on it, on the performance, on the improving it here. We've got one as well that we're trying to get up to 109, there, 140 points we can actually get on that brakes build. But as it is, we're going into this Phoenix Grand Prix currently with the best engine in the game. Our Mercedes engine is currently better than the Works team. Obviously, just the way the game works, even if you've got an engine that's a supplied engine, you can actually just improve the performance of it yourself. I like to just, in my head, just say that we've got a better understanding of how the Mercedes engine fits into our chassis. We can just sort of just make it work a little bit better. We've got a better airflow going through the engine, and that's why it's sort of 1st place and Mercedes are 3rd, currently behind the Ferrari. I'm guessing there's only like 10 points in it though, so we're not actually that far ahead, but we could be in for a decent race here in Phoenix. So we're just going to go ahead, we're going to pick PNC as we always do. A podium could be on the cards here, considering how strong the engine now is with that new engine, the best engine in the game. Sergei is content. As we went over in the last episode, they both have the same points between the parts they've got in the car. Things are really balanced out, but for some reason Sergei Sorokin's not actually as happy with the car as Esteban Ocon is. I don't know why. I don't want to give Sergei Sorokin another better part than Ocon, then he would have 4 of the better parts. I want to try and keep it as similar as we can. And obviously in this game, when you build a new part, you only build one new part. You can't put that new part in both cars. So it's sort of a balancing act to try to keep both drivers happy. As it is, I feel they've got really balanced cars, but Sergei Sorokin for some reason not happy here. But anyway, we're going to jump into the race weekend now. As usual, practice is off camera and we'll be back in a second to do the qualifying runs. So here we go with the first qualifying lap. Sorokin's about to get started on his first qualifying lap. Last season on this race, the front row was Sebastian Vettel and Danny Rick. Vettel did a 119.7 here last season. Robert Kubica qualified 10th. Sorokin was 18th. Kubica had a pretty decent race around here. He finished the race 4th, whereas Sorokin only managed a 17th place. The top 3 last season here was Vettel, Hamilton, Alonso during the race. So hopefully we're going to see a marked improvement over what we did last season. We were in the low 121s last season. As in regards to lap time, Hamilton does a 119.5, so he's 2 tenths quicker this season over the pole position last season. No, a 118.6, so that was the that was a suggested time, so about a second quicker at the times than last season. Sorokin does a 119.3, considering Sorokin last year did a 121.5. We've actually made like a 2.5 second difference. That is a massive leap forward as regards to performance in this car this season. It looks like we're going to be qualifying pretty high up. We're currently 8th and 11th, so hopefully we've got some room to improve there as well. We've got Stoffel Van Dorn, Danny Rick in our sights as well. Maybe Max Verstappen's a Red Bull's off pace here. So it looks like we're going to have a pretty decent qualifying session if we can go ahead and improve on that on our second run. So Sorokin's about to come around to start his final qualifying lap. If we look at the pole position at the moment, it's a 118.1 from Sebastian Vettel. Considering last year he did a 119.7, he's about 1.6 seconds quicker than last season. So all these cars making a massive leap forward in terms of performance. Our car's about 2 seconds quicker than last season. It seems like we've made about a difference to the pole sitter of about 4 tenths in our car. So Our improvement under padded low is going really well here at the moment. Esteban Ocon, Sorokin's actually gone quicker in that first sector, as has Esteban Ocon. It looks like we might have some room to pick up some places. Verstappen's gone slower in the second sector, so are we going to be able to maybe knock off a Red Bull here? We go down to 10th place as Nico Hulkenberg has put in a really quick lap. It looks like we're stuck alongside the Ferraris here, so Sorokin moves up to 9th place. Is Ocon going to go any quicker? Hopefully he's not being slowed down by those Ferraris. He goes 8th, Sorokin. We're quicker than both. No, Ricciardo goes a bit quicker, but we're quicker than one of the Red Bulls at the moment. The one of Max Verstappen. Van Dorn actually goes a little bit quicker. Did he? No, Van Dorn actually stayed quicker, I think. It was Ricciardo moving up. So we actually did qualify in 9th and 11th there, considering last season was 10th and 18th. 9th and 11th is a little bit of an improvement, obviously. Ocon 9th to Kubica's 10th last season. Not that massive an improvement, but as we see, the times are a massive improvement as regards to what happened last season. Here is the grid for the 2019 Phoenix Grand Prix. Vettel on pole, he improved to a 117.9 in the end. Hamilton second, just over 100 for the 10th of a second down over Vettel, but the front row of the grid as usual. Kevin Magnussen third, Nico Hulkenberg an excellent lap for him puts him fourth, ahead of the Ferrari of Valtteri Bottas and the Red Bull of Danny Rick. Kimi Raikkonen in the McLaren is still going well, even though his stats are dropping. He starts 7th on the grid, ahead of his teammate Stoffel Van Dorn in 8th place. Esteban Ocon in the top 10 here in our Williams racing car. Max Verstappen in the Red Bull 10th. It looks like he's injured as well. He's got whiplash. Sergei Sorokin 11th. Really good qualifying performance from him. Since he's outside the top 10, he can start on the hardest compound tyre. We're going to run him quite far into the Grand Prix. Phoenix is a 2-stop race. There's no real chance to do this as a 1-stop, although we could cheat and sort of do it as a 1-stop. It would mean going from a hard to a hard tyre, which I can't do. I've got to use 2 different tyre compounds if I want to do a 1-stop. As it is, we're probably going to go hard, medium, hard with Sorokin, whereas Esteban Ocon's going to go soft, hard, and then finish the race on a medium compound tyre. Back to the qualifying grid though. Felix Rosenqvist in the Renault 12th, not Esteban Ocon, that's Roman Grosjean in the Haas 13th, Carlos Sainz 14th in the Haas as well, Sergio Perez in the Force India 15, Charles Leclerc 16th in the Alfa Romeo Sauber, Pierre Gasly 17th in the Toro Rosso, Nikita Mazepin 18th in the Force India, Marcus Ericsson 19th, and bringing up the rear, Billy Johnson in that Toro Rosso, starting on the soft tyres. So hopefully we can get a nice good start here. I don't want to push these tyres too much because I want some room to push towards the end of the race, but it looks like Max Verstappen's off the line really well. But Ocon gets into the second phase of that start, but he's run wide as Ocon. Absolute disaster from Ocon. He goes 16th. It looks like he's going to drop all the way to the back here. He ran wide. He got a really good second phase of the start there, but he just ran wide, and I'm guessing we're just going to have to play the long game here now with Ocon. He's in a really bad position. He's not going to get chance to test out this new engine here, but Sorokin getting up the inside of Charles Leclerc makes it stick. He's going to get the run on Max Verstappen, although Max Verstappen gets away from that corner pretty well. The weather is pretty hot here, so we're going to run neutral here. We might get the chance to get Sorokin onto the soft tyre if he can just go long enough on this. He can do 16, 27 and 7 from that. So if he looks after this hard tyre long enough to get to about lap 16 or 17 or so, maybe even lap 15, he can get on to the second stint to do the soft for the second stint, which might be his best option here going forward. Ocon has moved himself up to 19th. He's managed to get past Billy Johnson. Our engine should be a beast round here. Moves himself up to 17th here. He's now got Ericsson in his just overtaking cars for fun here is Esteban Ocon. We're going to have to push on this soft tyre so we can get him back up to position pretty quickly. As we see, he's moved up from 20th now up to 14th, manages to get past Charles Leclerc. He's got the Renault in front of him, which is a much quicker car but doesn't have a better engine. So once we start going down that long sort of the half oval that he's still getting on this track, we should start seeing him go for some more cars. But he's going to make this move on Rosenqvist. No, he doesn't. He runs a little bit wide around that corner. Charles Leclerc can't take advantage of and falls behind a little bit. So hopefully we're going to get the run on Rosenqvist up this half oval now. As we see, look at that, we're just so much quicker than that Renault. We're going to be able to make this move stick. We've got Sorokin in front as well. Ocon's already caught Sorokin back up here, but Rosenqvist makes a late move into that corner and stays ahead. So I'm guessing we want to get Rosenqvist out of the way, so we're just going to have to push here to try and get Ocon back into the position that we want him in. These cars around here are on harder compound tyres. We should be able to make it stick. We managed to get past Rosenquist. I don't really want to slow Sirotkin down. Oh, and Charles Leclerc, cheeky there. He goes down the inside, gets past Rosenquist and Esteban Ocon, but we should get the run on him here. Ocon should have the run on Sirotkin as well as we're pushing, so hopefully Ocon can make this move. He goes round the outside, skirting the track limits. He's also going to make the move on Van Dorn. He's going to get right on the back of Kimi Räikkönen here. An absolutely amazing recovery, and Sirotkin gets past Van Dorn as well and almost gets Ocon. Hopefully we're not going to squabble between our two drivers here, and we're just going to have to recover a little bit here with Esteban Ocon. Hopefully we're not going to start dropping behind. Pierre Gasly now in front as Kimi Räikkönen goes past him. It looks like Ocon's going to try and go around the outside. That leaves the door open for Stoffel Van Dorn, but Stoffel Van Dorn can't make that move stick there. We're just going to recover here. We're going to go for the pace later on with Sirotkin. He's doing quite well, holding to this 13th position. He started the race in 11th. He's dropped down a little bit here. Obviously we're quicker than Pierre Gasly, but this is just a recovery lap in between the laps before we start pushing again, although it is allowing Stoffel Van Dorn to start coming back at us here, so we might switch to conserve for the other half of this lap, and then we're going to go back in attack mode as we go up that half oval. Although it looks like we might be able to make the move stick on Pierre Gasly down there. We get the inside line. Can Ocon get the run out of the corner? Ocon, Pierre Gasly just falls back there. He tried to come up the inside but couldn't make it stick. Must have understeered, oversteered, whatever he did into that corner. But Ocon now running 10th place, and we can go back into attack mode. We're only 1.3 seconds back from Räikkönen, so we're pretty much back to where we started. If Ocon hadn't have run wide, he would have possibly been in a really good position going on in this Grand Prix. Gasly needs to get out of his way, so Rotkin's currently stuck behind Pierre Gasly here. Might give him a little bit of room to push now. Let him come at Pierre Gasly, but Ocon now is closing down Kimi Räikkönen. We might have him in our sights. I think we've just got one more lap in this tyre, one more lap, or we might even be out this lap. We are on lap 7. This soft tyre did really need to get to about lap 8 for us to do it. Should we get in for the hard tyre here, we will be coming out at the back of the grid, but we will be able to push a little bit from that point forward because these soft tyres are going to run out. They're at 30% at the moment. If they drop below 25, they will start losing performance since it's the quickest tyre compound. So we're going to get onto the hard tyre here for the middle stint. We're going to be the first car into the pits. So there goes Ocon. Just pushing that tyre has made us run out a little bit quicker, but we know we have some, and we've got a lot of clear air here to run in as well, so we come out of the pits. So we're going to get pushing as well a little bit here with Ocon as we come out of the pits, so hopefully we're going to get a little bit of an undercut, and we're sort of going to measure ourselves against Kimi Räikkönen, which is who we were behind. So if we can get out in front of him, that would be absolutely amazing. If we just switch back to neutral now with Sergei Sirotkin, he's 11th. We've managed to make the move on Pierre Gasly. He's just got Stoffel Van Dorn, so Rotkin's still on for a points finish here if we can sort of catch back up. We're 15 seconds behind Perez, who's in front of us at the moment. Are we closing this down? We see Kevin Magnussen pitting the Mercedes. He's going to come back out at the back of the pack, but obviously we're a long way down the road from the Mercedes in front. We're just hoping that this, we're 22 seconds behind Räikkönen. Is that enough with a pit stop to get back out in front of him? We know we're going to have to start recovering the fuel at some point. The tyres as they are, what sort of lap times are we doing? I'm not going to be able to see until we've done this lap, are we? What sort of lap time we're doing with Ocon, but we have caught up. So no, we haven't really caught up because that's Magnussen who came out of the pits. These tyres for Sirotkin getting a little bit too warm here. He's used about half the tyre, done 9 laps, so he's going to get easily to that lap 16 that we wanted him to get to. And we start seeing quite a few cars hit the pits here. So are we going to get out in front of these? We do, and that is us in front of Max Verstappen and in front of Valtteri Bottas here. So we've picked up a few places there. And what are we behind Kimi Räikkönen now? Where's Kimi Räikkönen running in 3rd place? Just 20 seconds, so we're closing that gap down. So this undercut is possibly going to work for us here. We are in the 122s with people up here running in the 124s, so we're in a real good position here just to keep pushing for a little bit. Once everyone else has done their pit stop, then we'll just start thinking about turning the tyre down. So Rotkin is in 5th place at the moment. He's running pretty decently. All these cars though will have the undercut to go on him though, so we're just going to do a lap cooling down this tyre before we get back to pushing all out here. Van Dorn is in front. Sorokin's sort of challenging him at the moment, but Ocon 17th here. Ricciardo's got back out in front. But we're just waiting for Kimi Raikkonen to make this pit stop. We should maybe have Roman Grosjean in our sights as well, if we can just keep going here. This tyre's almost at the point of overheating too much, which we don't want it to do. And there we see the message, tyre deg really bad, but that is Kimi Raikkonen into the pits. Are we going to get out in front of him? It looks like we're going to be able to do it. Kimi Raikkonen's coming out of the pits. We're going to see him, and we're quite a long way in front of him here. So we're going to quickly cool down these tyres. If we look at that, where did Raikkonen come out of the pits? 30 seconds behind our... No, that's Ocon. 6 seconds behind. I was looking at Sorokin to Raikkonen, but 6 seconds behind we managed to pick up with that pit stop because we were behind Raikkonen. The undercut working massively here, and we've got Roman Grosjean in our sight, so we're in a really good position here with Ocon, considering he ran wide early. And it looks like these tyres have pretty much cooled down now, so we're going to get back into neutral for a little bit, and once we've possibly done another lap with Sorokin, he can go in full on overtake mode. And we just want to cool these tyres down a little bit. We need Ocon to get to lap 20, which he should easily be able to do before we switch to that medium. If he can get to lap 22, that would be even better. Then we've got some room to push on the hard tyre. Van Dorn is in the pits to fix the car as well, so that's going to work out well for Sorokin, who was battling with Van Dorn here. Sorokin currently running in 3rd place. Ocon currently in 13th place. It's just Hulkenberg, Grosjean at the front to pit. Can we catch Hulkenberg here as well? So Ocon currently running 5th place. It looks like, yeah, Vettel's all the way up here. So Ocon currently running 5th place. We're just hanging on to this hard tyre at the moment. Can we get out in front of Hulkenberg here? So we can actually get back onto this tyre. We'll push whilst Hulkenberg comes into the pits. I think we're too far behind to get in front of Hulkenberg here. Hulkenberg's going to start coming out of the pits. We're going to be somewhere close to him though. Somewhere close. And can we get the run? We get past Hulkenberg as well. We managed to get past Hulkenberg, so we're going to switch back to neutral. And at some point we're going to have to start recovering that fuel with Esteban Ocon. So things happening here all over the shop. We're going to get Sorokin pushing for a few laps as he's hit his target of getting to lap 15 or better. So we'll get pushing with Sorokin. He's sort of possibly out of position because a lot of the other cars have started to undercut him. But hopefully we can get him in and out of the pits. He can possibly do another 2 laps here. Push in. It looked like, why did that just go into the green? I'm not sure why, but anyway, Ocon is currently 12th. We've got Roman Grosjean in the pits with there, so Ocon in a really good position here, considering who has to pit. We're going to get back out in front of Sorokin. So Ocon is effectively running in 5th place, an amazing recovery for him. Sorokin currently running in 1st place. Just going to run this hard tyre as long as we can, so we know he's going to be in a really good position. He's going to come out onto the soft tyre as well, which we might be able to run in high mode for a little bit. We might have enough tyre wear left to do that. So Sorokin sets the quickest 3rd sector of the Grand Prix though, and we're just going to have to look after these tyres a little bit with Esteban Ocon. But Sorokin currently running 1st place just because he hasn't pitted yet, but he's still setting his personal best going around on this hard tyre. But another lap of this might see it run out, so we're going to dive into the pits for this soft tyre, which should see us through far enough to get onto that medium tyre. We can always switch back to a hard tyre as well if I don't feel the medium can get to the end of the race, but we might as well go soft here. I should have checked to see where it's going to estimate him to be coming back out of the pits. He's going to be coming back out into 14th, which isn't too bad. He's on for a points finish here, considering there's still quite a lot of cars behind him that haven't pitted yet, so he could somehow get both cars into the points. Ocon just doing amazingly at the moment. I'm going to switch him back to neutral as well at the moment. And there we go, Sorokin in the pits. He's going to get back out into 12th place because we saw some other cars pit. He's currently got Max Verstappen behind him on a little bit of a used hard tyre. Obviously the hard tyre doesn't really use performance, but Sorokin should be alright on this soft tyre now. Hopefully, I don't think we're going to be quicker than the Red Bull, but if we can hold on to it, that would be amazing. So we still don't have to do this, and we're right on the back of Daniel Ricciardo and Lewis Hamilton here. We're right on the back of them. We don't really have the tyre to push here, or do we? We could actually push a little bit because this hard tyre is going to go quite a way here. So if we can push up this straight and keep up with these cars in front, it looks like we're so much quicker than that Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton. We're quite a long way back on him, but if we can just push now and get somewhere near. Obviously we can also go for a hard tyre as well. What are people doing on the mediums at the moment? 123s we're seeing to the 124s at the moment. What's Ocon going to be doing this lap from pushing this tyre? Obviously we're not getting the same tyre performance because it is overheated at the moment. Should we get in early and try another undercut on this hard tyre? Or should we just stretch out for the medium tyre? We're currently doing 123.6. Doesn't look like the medium tyre is that much quicker. 123.4. So we're going to see Magnussen come into the pits pretty soon. If we see what Magnussen does, we're going to get a good idea of what the other cars are going to be doing. So let's just try cool this tyre down a little bit because it's running too high in the degradation at the moment. We're still waiting for Perez to pit. I'm guessing this Force India is going to try and do a one-stop strategy as we look to make a move on Lewis Hamilton. Let's switch back up. Can we get this move on Lewis here? We've got the inside onto that little mini hairpin there. Ocon he's managed to get past Lewis Hamilton, and we're going to get the run on Danny Rick as well. If we can get Danny Rick here, would be amazing. How he's quicker than the Red Bull. Ocon up into third place at the moment. Obviously we're going to pit pretty early, which means we're going to be at the mercy of a lot of these cars around here that are going to slow us down. But as we know, we've got a really good chance of overtaking them as we hit this semi-oval. So what are we going to do? One more lap. It should see us be able to get into that medium tyre. Medium 124s. The medium doesn't seem that much quicker though for the other cars, does it? I'm sort of wishing we'd put Sorokin on the medium so I knew how quick a medium tyre was. If we just switch back to neutral for this lap, we'll just see how much quicker a medium tyre is if we're not pushing it. But we know we can get 123s or even better out of pushing a hard tyre. Whereas we're seeing a hard tyre just somehow looks a lot quicker here. So we're just going to push and get one more lap out of this one. No, let's just get in and let's get in. We'll risk this hard tyre because it doesn't look like it's losing much time here. It looks like pushing this hard tyre is going to be the way forward, which means it's going to be the way forward for Sergei Sorokin. We're going to get both our cars in for a hard tyre that we can push. Obviously, it might not be the right decision, but the hard tyre just does look to be quicker at the moment over the mediums, because everyone on a medium tyre is going a lot slower at the moment. And we're at a point where we're going to have to recover fuel as well. We're going to have to go in low mode, but as it is, Ocon can push out of the pits. He's currently 14th. We'll manage to stay out ahead of Nikita Mazepin, who's come out behind us. Sorokin currently running in 6th place. He's going to shred through this soft tyre. He's going to get in for his last pit stop. He's going to get onto this hard tyre as well. And we'll just have to look after this soft tyre because it's about to run out with a few corners left. So there we go, into the pits. We should be able to get back out in front. No, we don't. Just behind. We usually have a quicker pit stop, but we're going to get pushing now. We've got who actually came out, Raikkonen in front on that medium tyre. Can we make this work on this hard tyre? The weather is hot, so the hard tyre compound should work better since it is so hot here. Hopefully we've made the right choice. Hopefully we can get somewhere back towards Lewis Hamilton once he makes this pit stop and stay in front of him. We're currently 12th with a little bit of clear air. We're not really getting slowed down. What sort of lap time are we going to get on this hard tyre pushing out here? 122.2, which is amazing considered what did Raikkonen do. We're not going to be able to see just yet. A 122.7 on a medium. Don't have to worry about tyre wear at this point forward, although if we just switch back to backup mode, just cool these tyres down a little bit, and we'll run in push mode, just cool these tyres down. We're possibly going to slow down this lap, but we're within. Ooh, Hamilton's in the pits. I'm guessing he's going to get back out in front of us. No, he's in. No, we're on the back of him though. Didn't quite work. The undercut, he's back out onto a medium tyre now. What is Raikkonen doing? 124s on that medium tyre, whereas we're doing 123s at the moment. Ooh, it's going to be interesting as this race goes on, seeing where we're going to be able to get, because Sorokin is hanging on to the back of Raikkonen at the moment. We're just going to conserve for a little bit and cool these tyres. No, running backup mode, try and cool these tyres down. We also need to start recovering the fuel here. We're going to have to go low mode at some point, but if we can get Ocon towards the top 5 here, would be absolutely amazing. Ocon does a 123. What did Raikkonen do on that medium? He's starting to go a little bit quicker now since we're not really pushing the tyre too much. So we're going to try cool down quite considerably, and then we can run back in push mode for a little bit. or maybe to the end of the race we can go in full on overtake mode and just keep these lap times up. If we get this tyre out of the red zone and then go back into overtake mode, we start to see some cars hit the pits here. We're going to get out in front of the Renault of Nico Hulkenberg pretty comfortably there onto a pair of medium tyres. So Rotkin moves up to 13th place as well. He's outside now, so he's going to go into push mode. And Ocon, at the moment, what did he do last lap? A 122.8. Considering he's just running, we're going to run till the end of this lap, and then we're going to go full overtake mode with him. Low fuel delta because he's recovered to 1 lap of fuel. It's going to have to be low mode at some point, but as it is, looks like, can we close a few places back up? We're currently up into 6, so we're going to go back into full-on attack mode here. What is Sorokin doing at the moment? He's in the 122.4s, quicker than Raikkonen on that medium tyre. So we're going to get back into attack mode here. We sort of need to try and get some quick lap times in because we're going to have to recover the fuel. So Ocon 6, so let's see what he can do, pushing all out for a few laps here. I'm guessing he's going to be in the 121s, might be in the 120s hopefully. Yes, we know the tyre degs through the roof, but there's only a few laps here. Ocon goes into the 121s. I don't know why I said the 120s, that's obviously not possible. Obviously it's possible for a Red Bull who's on a hard tyre doing the same thing as us and going onto a hard tyre. We're just going to keep it running now in full-on overtake mode. There's no point trying to cool the tyres down, I don't think, or maybe running in backup mode. Obviously, we can get past Charles Leclerc. He's going to have to pit again. No, it looks like he's actually running to the end of the race, so we're going to have to try and close down Charles Leclerc here. And hopefully we can do that before we have to turn down the fuel. There's only a few laps remaining. I'm guessing we're going to have to do the fuel now. A lot of these cars that were further down the order have obviously gone for the one stop. And yeah, I think we've just about got a chance of recovering the fuel with Sorokin. It's pretty touch and go for Ocon, but it looks like he's still quicker than Charles Leclerc. Even though we're trying to recover fuel, so we should be able to get him either this lap or the next. Hopefully, the tyres are not there, and there we do. We've made the move on Charles Leclerc. Is he going to come back at us, Charles Leclerc? No, he doesn't. We managed to get 5th place, which is an amazing recovery here from Esteban Ocon. An absolutely amazing drive, considering he ran wide partway through the start of this first oval corner. Ran wide, found himself in 20th place. An absolutely amazing recovery from him. It's just whether we can recover this fuel. We've got 2 laps to do it, so it looks like we're going to be able to do it if we can just keep running in low mode. We're now pulling away from Charles Leclerc here, who is in 6th place. We just keep everything going as it is. So Rotkin has got himself up into the points. There's no point cooling this tyre. We might cool this tyre down and then we can go, because it looks like we're going to have Bottas challenging us at some point, and we're going to have to go low mode as well, and then we can switch everything back up, be it when we start the last lap, and we might be able to get Sorokin going a little bit quicker. And once we come across the line, we can go back into attack and medium there. As it is, we're just about going to recover the fuel, or maybe not. Hopefully we're not going to run out of fuel. We're pretty low. We might be just around here when we run out of fuel. It should see us across the line in front of Charles Leclerc to hold on to this 5th place. So here we go. About to come across 5th place. Are we going to run out of fuel? 16. It's going to be pretty close. It's going to be pretty close. But we're going to do it because we're that far ahead of Charles Leclerc now, about 3 seconds. We run out of fuel just as we cross the line. 5th place from Ocon, an amazing recovery. So Rotkin 10th. So just think what we could have done if we'd not run wide and fallen right behind there. We could have been up there on the podium on merit and not anything to do really with the strategy. Although some of it was to do with the strategy. We picked up 6 seconds or so on that first pit stop over Raikkonen and maybe the other cars, but on merit we could have been on the podium there. So things looking up here, especially for next season when we move on to our new FW43 for next season. This season's car is FW42, but amazing result from Ocon. More importantly, he's not ahead of Danny Rick. Danny Rick finished 2nd, but that isn't. The top 3 last season was Vettel, Hamilton and Alonso in the McLaren, whereas Kimi Raikkonen actually fell outside the points. Where did Stoffel van Dorn? So the McLaren's outside the points here, considering they had a podium last season. Must be disappointing. The Mercedes in 3rd and 4th. Hamilton in 4th though, so Vettel has gone some way to closing that gap once again, unless He's got risky parts in his car. I don't think he will have. No one's moved about due to risky parts. So Esteban Ocon now, he still is in the lead over Daniel Ricciardo. He's got a 9-point gap there. But as we see, the lead has now closed to 21 points. At one point this season, Hamilton was like 80 points in front, but Vettel has done a really good job at closing that gap up, and it's going to be interesting. We're possibly going to go into the final race of the season with the Drivers' Championship still undecided. Sergei Sirotkin picked up another point. Hopefully he's going to keep that 9th place. Now Red Bull picked up some decent points there. I don't know where Verstappen came overall. I didn't actually see that. But Red Bull still ahead of us. It's going to be a miracle if we can catch them. Obviously, we know we've got this 4th place in the bag, which is more than enough really to pay for next season's car by itself. So we've got like a spare 40 million, which we need to keep some back at the moment, because I'm not sure how the finances are going to work out next season, because we're going to be losing Lance Stroll, and we're going to be losing his money that he gets for competing in practice, and we're going to be losing half the money for Sergei Sirotkin. So it's something like 1.4 million we're losing, plus a driver. So next season, instead of us making £500,000 per race, we might be losing 1.2, if not more, considering depending on how much it costs us to bring a new driver in. It could be crazy next season, but we'll just have to deal with it. That is what we have to do if we want to compete at the top. We need a better driver than Sergei Sirotkin. Although he's done decently this season, he's not at the level where we would want him to be, and he would possibly just hold the team back. But anyway, we're going to get this interview out of the way. Esteban Ocon was beaten by Sebastian Vettel. We'll just say that one because it always keeps him buttered up. It's not going to upset either of our drivers. So he continues to be buttered up. He's been buttered up for quite a while. I think Vettel's buttered up, and I think Lewis is buttered up, but they want too much money. They would possibly, if we went for them, we would be losing like £3 million per race possibly if we had those drivers in the car. So they're not really a possibility. There is a poll down below where you can vote for next season's driver. I won't say who's winning it. If you're voting, you can actually see who's winning. If you've not voted, then you are, if I don't say who's winning, then you're still free to choose, and you're not sort of influenced by who's winning at the moment. But anyway, that is it for this episode. Leave a like, leave a comment on who next season's driver should be, the increased performance this season, Ocon's amazing recovery during this race, and yeah, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. It's much appreciated. We're closing in on 900 subscribers at the moment. But that is it for this episode. I'll see you down the road in Brazil and for the Rio de Janeiro Grand Prix, the equivalent of the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. But until then, goodbye.